Hey guys, Seán here, and welcome to another episode of the Any Given Run Day podcast. Once again, we are joined from across the Atlantic by my main man from Alabama, Eric. Good morning, good early morning over there.
It's actually, it's 10 past 12 here now, so got my gym session in on this morning. I went into the gym on the base, Seán, and it's impressive.
Yeah?
Oh my God, I've never seen so much equipment in one room. It's big. It's very big. It's great.
I've seen, I think Alabama, their college has like the most impressive gym and setup in the country because they're all about college football. So it's good to see that's transferred over to where you're at over there as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pity. Like, there's so much facilities here. Like, there's an outdoor swimming pool. There's a massive lake, and most things are closed down. You can all the pools and all are closed. The only thing that's open is the gym. But working out wearing the mask is bizarre.
You have to wear the mask when working out.
Yeah, you do, unless you're outdoors in the running track. And once you get warm, like obviously the heat over here, like once you get warm, honestly, you felt like I was gonna die. I couldn't breathe at all. The mask gets so wet, and you're just like, oh my God. But,
man, that's insane. Over here, if there was masks, like I was saying, my boot camps and stuff, they were like, you have to wear a mask, and I'm like, if there was masks, I'd have to dial back to training. So I'll keep going until that case. I'm not saying masks outdoors. I agree with everything else with that. But indoors in a gym setting where you're able to do social distance and all the rest and your own equipment, to me, that's mad. I wouldn't be doing that.
I think they just they're not taking any chances. But it's cool. They issue you your own bottle of disinfectant each. So everyone gets their own disinfectant coming in. You can disinfect everything before you use it, after you use it. But yeah, I did find it tough. Now, we were only doing, like, we were on the squat rack and we were doing a few deadlifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And jerk. So we were getting a long break in between, but we were only doing like sets of 5. What come to 50?
I'm glad you're getting your training in and getting your running and all the rest. Back on the 25 minutes for 5K. Eric, I'd be getting a good stretch on the toes of my left foot.
Yeah.
That's all that stupid sock is brought. It's stupid. It literally bends back my toes, and I'm an absolute bits over. After 2 hours, I take things off. So I'm in the exact same situation I was last week. I think I'll go back to physio and be like, I'm like exact same. Like, there's no improvement. So I need help with stretching, Eric.
I need help with stretching. Because one thing I realized there now today when I was getting back into the squat. Now, I've been doing a bit of yoga as well. Trying to do so. I've been following along on different YouTube videos and stuff. But one thing I've noticed is I'm so inflexible, and they do this thing where you're like, you put your legs flat and try and straighten your back and like make it a perfect 90 degrees. I would be an absolute agony, but I was trying it last night, and then we said, right, time to get another yoga expert on, because we still haven't figured it out. Danny tried it with us, we still couldn't do it. So and after my gym day today, I realized I really need to work on my flexibility, particularly in the hamstrings. Really felt it today a lot. So we've got a new guest, don't we, Seán?
We do indeed. You've somehow dug deep in, found another yoga person to get through to me. And I have been working on my stretch, in credit, Danny. I have done a lot of my other stuff, but it's just this damn Achilles is wrecking my head right now. And you need to get a little bit going since you're back in the gym with face masks on. So what do we have in store today, Eric?
So this week, Seán, I went on my big yoga search, and I have found Niamh Boggan from the sunny southeast. We're looking at Niamh here now, and she's absolutely sitting in basking sunshine, getting a tan. It looks better than Alabama. Niamh, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you, lads? Thanks for having me.
No, you're very welcome on. Danny tried to get us, and in fairness, she definitely changed us. And we're hoping you're going to be the one that keeps us going onto this new yoga path me and Seán are finding ourselves on. How did you get into yoga? What brought you on this path?
I feel like I was always into that kind of, I don't know, that quirky side that yogis are, if you know what I mean. Like, from a young age, I'd done gymnastics and stuff, but I'd sit in the garden and, you know, pick my flowers and things unknowns to myself, probably meditating in that kind of a way. But then, you know, when you grow up, things change, things are influenced, or you get influenced by other people and kind of what's expected of you, and then you're put into schools, blah blah blah. So I wasn't really on a yogi path from a young age, but like, you know, when you're a kid, you can always relate back to whatever your passion is now when you grow up, that thing that you used to love when you were a child, like a young child, the things you used to play at or really enjoy doing when you were on your own. And then kind of I went to college, done the whole, sports science kind of a thing.
Oh, sports science, oh, very good.
Well, physiology, health sciences I done. But I don't know, I always felt a pull to go back to this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like I do cupping therapy, I do Reiki, so that's what I mean about myself. Like I couldn't really go into the school books way of learning. I just had to learn from kind of what I understood myself and what I really enjoyed myself.
And it is a thing as well. It is a hands-on experience, isn't it? Like we talk about, like I've done a bit of reading since I mentioned I've done a bit of reading on the Reiki and stuff, and I know people who will be involved in it. And a lot of people are like, now I've seen a lot of stuff online where people are like, oh, these aren't doctors and claim to be doctors, but what I take from it is with yoga, Reiki, any of these things, and like you said, being on your own, like people get so busy and they've got school, and then after school you've got college, and then after college you have to get your career, and then after your career you get your house, your family, and everything is just go, go, go. But the thing about Reiki, yoga, and all these places, whether you believe it heals you, whether you believe it doing, but just taking an hour to relax and try and relax your mind from all the busy that's going around, it's one thing that people are really, really bad at these days, isn't it?
It's like they don't know, they think they're okay.
Yeah.
Not that everyone's not okay. It's when you actually do it, when you actually let go of everything and you give yourself, if you actually go to a yoga class and sit down or lie down and do a meditation afterwards, and that all that means is letting go of it, all of your thoughts, all of your tension in your body, and not feeling like you have to concentrate on anything or think about anything, and not feel like you're missing out on anything, not thinking about it. Like the feeling you feel afterwards, or expressing gratitude even, like you start to weigh up like what really matters, or like what was actually going on, like the amount of thoughts you had to exhale away, let's say, or tell to let pass. Then you realize the amount of things that are actually going on in your head at once,
And it's so true. So in the build-up coming over here, Niamh, I was flat out thinking of, do I have this, do I have these, do I have that? Have I got all my documents lined up? Have I got everything else organised? Gear packed? Did I pack this? Did I send me? But like there was a million and one things. And meanwhile, everyone, and it was great, everyone was like, oh, we have to meet and see you before you go, and you're trying to compile everything together. But my brain hasn't really switched off. Now, the first 5 days, I was actually wrecked once I got here, because I realised, my God, my brain was doing so much over the last few weeks, months, just in the build-up to this, trying to manage everything. And then when I got here, like I'm reading a really good book, and it's kind of around the topic, it's called 4 Agreements, and it's about like being impeccable with your word and your thoughts, and trying to, and as you said, like being more positive in how you feel. But when I was reading the book, my brain, I'd be on page like 100, and then all of a sudden I get to page 103, and I'd be like, I have no idea what was on the last 3 pages, because I started thinking about absolutely everything else that was going on, or something someone had said to me that morning, or a text I got from someone else. And then I have to go back and like, I am really just pissing away my
read
time
the whole
here.
book
Like,
again.
and it's like, how am I doing this? So it's a reason why we said we bring you on board as well, because a lot of the things that people do, and people who are taking on challenges and feeling a bit kind of tough in their life, like we're the yoga element we can all agree on, and we spoke to Danny before, and it's a massive thing to be able to stretch. And I don't know, I kind of find it real difficult when a yoga instructor's like, just breathe when you're in an absolute jocker trying to hold on the pose and stuff. But I will get better at that. But the meditation side of it, I always find to be absolutely amazing, just for the mind, for resetting, even thinking about your goals and stuff. It's really good.
Yeah. Focusing on something that you want to achieve rather than all the things that will hold you back from that thing.
Yeah, and it's mad, because most of the times that's all we do think about, isn't it? It's the negatives around it. It's all this stuff you're not good at, and reasons why you can't.
Like me coming before I came onto this, panicking, thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? And like, for no reason, it's just all these fears come into your head, and you just have to let them go.
You probably thought you're going to get like really hard questions and grilled and everything. Whereas I'm going to ask what I'm hoping at least one other listener is going to ask as well. What is Reiki?
It's a form of energy healing.
Okay, it's different to yoga or similar to yoga, or
it's a treatment. So
okay,
you would come to me and you would lie down or sit down. There's different ways that you can do it, or I could do it to Eric over in Alabama. It's it's an energy thing, so it doesn't matter about time and distance and stuff. If you can think that far deeply.
Well, you said don't think time and distance. I thought of Interstellar there for some reason. So
Oh my God, my favorite film of all time.
I'm looking in my wardrobe now to see if there's someone trying to contact me.
Don't go.
It's just Niamh doing a bit of Reiki.
Yeah, you didn't get that message when going to Alabama. Don't go.
So we have you ever heard of your chakras?
Yeah, my understanding is there's 7 chakras from what I've read. Am I right?
There's 7 main chakras, but there's like hundreds of chakras all over your body. So like you have your 7 main ones, say running up and from your base of your spine up to the top of your head, but then you have chakras in your palms of your hands and your legs and your toes and everything. So they all move in a swirl, like a spiral. So like cones of energy spiraling in, kind of like a tornado. So each chakra has a different purpose or meaning or thing to do with you. Like say your root chakra is all to do with your survival, your finances, like your security. Are you being fed? Like are you getting money in and being safe? Like the ground, do you have a job? All those things that make you feel secure and safe. And then that's
probably the one that people are suffering with the most when you talk about that baseline of security that everyone's going through with COVID and stuff.
Personally, I think solar plexus is. That's in your stomach, and it's just underneath your heart, and it's yellow, and it swirls just below your chest bone, and it's all to do with your self-esteem. So like your confidence, your I don't know what's the word. I can't think of the word right now. So like I would get a lot of of my treatments, people would have an imbalance in their solar plexus, and they're all complaining of the same thing, of irritable bowel syndrome or bloatedness and things like that, which I know a lot of people are suffering with these days, and that's due to the imbalance in their solar plexus. So when the energy is unbalanced or it's not getting fed enough energy, there could be a blockage in it. It's like after time it'll start to make a physical appearance in your body, let's say. So like things like that relates to everything. Pain in your back, upper back, could be your heart chakra. You might be having relationship trouble, or it could be a relationship with friends, family, anybody. Your throat chakra, like people with sore throats or neck problems and things, would be an imbalance in that one. So that's all about your self-expression, your authenticity, your creativity, how you communicate with people, everything to do with the voice. So you can see it in different things. Like say, my favorite person of all time is Freddie Mercury. Okay. He, in the end, died of, I know he had AIDS, but bronchitis. So it was to do with his lungs, his throat, his breathing. So that would be all related to the imbalance of his self-expression, the way he lived most of his life pretending he was straight and trying to be a certain way because he was afraid to come out, and like other types of things. And then like everything the media was saying to him, making him feel like he can't be himself, etc. So that all that imbalance then that affects your throat. That's just like an example I like to use, but it could be all different types of things. Like people with lower back issues, might be a sacral imbalance. So that's all to do with your self-worth. So the kind of thing, like say I go to a yoga class and there's 20 people there and I make €200. It's me being okay with taking that money and not feeling that, oh my God, I don't deserve that, I just done a yoga class. It's knowing your worth and knowing what you're giving to people and what you're, do you know what I mean? Like, you deserve whatever you desire. That's all I like to say.
Yeah, it's that's an interesting. Now my back is sore, but I think it's from carrying Seán all these years. But when we started this podcast as well, like, I definitely felt all that. I felt that because Seán will even tell you, like, I made the New Year's resolution to just try new things, put myself out there, because for the last number of years, I've definitely felt like I used to be really outgoing. Like I'd go into a room full of 400 people, I'd stand up and I'd talk to a lecture hall in the college, and over the last few years, like, something changed where I was just like, I can't do that anymore. I can't put myself out there for fear of getting the whip, or, you know, like, I don't know, it was a once bitten, twice shy type of thing. But definitely even with podcasts and stuff, and now, like, I suppose now I don't, it doesn't bother me at all. It absolutely doesn't faze me. I was actually the one kind of telling you, like, oh, this is going to be great. We're just going to have
yeah.
But then you get all the people that send you on the memes and stuff. Or young men under 35 get bored and start doing their podcasts and stuff and all this kind of.
Yeah.
All of it happens, but people don't realize that each attack like that, although it is a joke, is another attack at people's self-worth, self-everything. And it also happens in sport as well, like, where people are told you're not good enough, you're not the best, you didn't get the medal. And, like, even when I do a triathlon, like, I know I'm not the best person at the event, but I feel like I should you should go in front of me because you're definitely better than me, and I want to hold myself back. And there's probably a lot of people that listen to that, and particularly when we're going for running, so people will hear, I've done a marathon at this time, and I'm out running 14 kilometers this day, 20 the next day, 10 the next day, and they're like, I'm not going running with you, you're too good, I'm not worthy to run with you. And I've done it myself with Tom and stuff. So, like, I think it is really important when you look at even if the psychology of it, when you whatever you want to call it, or the Reiki of it, the energy of it, it's amazing how people can get themselves down and kind of put themselves in that kind of, or reach their glass ceiling, as I suppose is probably a way to do it. But I've never heard it put so simply as saying that you're actually just worthy of good things to happen and stuff. And it's really interesting. It's really interesting to hear.
Yeah, like, it could be anything. You know, it's like headaches and things, because you're not seeing clearly, you're not listening to, you know, yourself, you're trying to keep up with everything else that's going on in your head. Or, like, sometimes I'd put my hands on someone's head at the start and they'd be absolutely burning me, like, I'd have to take them off, they'd be on fire, because there's so much energy in their head, because they're living up in their head, they're thinking, what do I have to do next, what am I doing tomorrow, did I do that next week, oh my God, I didn't do that, where are the kids, what about that? Did that get paid? Oh my God, where am I? I went the wrong way. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like my kind of head. Anyway,
that's how you lost your hair.
Yeah, and it got a bit sunburned, so it definitely was. But no,
sorry, go.
It's definitely It's definitely a thing. Like, and it's something I've noticed a lot. Especially with the likes of Headspace and stuff now coming along. I actually just downloaded Headspace, and because I really noticed it when I was starting to read like 5 pages of a book 3 or 4 times just to stop my brain from going everywhere, and I started to do the Headspace. But and it's good. I'm just trying different methods to try and keep myself focused on goals. Like, I'll sit down on my bed even. I don't know if anyone else can do this as well. Like, talking about the head being all over the place. Whereas I'll walk into the room, I'll sit in the bed, and then I'll find them on Instagram and like, what did I come in here to do? And, you know, like, and then I go, oh yeah, I was supposed to do this, and you're just like,
yeah.
You come into a room to do, and you go back to the normality of the boredom thing where you take out your phone on Instagram, you're on this, you're on that, you send a text to someone, you're like, I was actually supposed to brush my teeth. How did that disconnect happen there? But it's it's really interesting. It's cool. Would we like, so the other way you said you can kind of get to me in Alabama and stuff. Say we did a class, would we be able to do like a class Reiki, or is it more of an individual?
No, because it's
everyone's energy be mixed up. Like,
and you actually feel it. Like, if I connected to you and done a treatment on you and didn't disconnect from you, like, and you went and you felt really emotional later, like, I'd be at home and I'd just start crying.
Yeah,
you know, things like that. It's or like I'd just have this like freaker. But what was I going to say there?
So if I start crying later, I know you've done something good.
Yeah, because afterwards you go through like a cleansing.
Okay,
So like people trap, like they build up their emotions, they bottle them up, like they don't let them out, men especially. And it's sorry. It's like a thing, if you don't express your emotion, or you don't let it out, or you don't talk about it, or you don't feel it, you just bottle it up, act like it's not there, it's going to be trapped inside you. And that's another thing that can cause illness and like imbalances in your chakras and everything. So it's important to like be confident enough to express your emotions, you know, like don't feel like you have to be a certain way, or, you know, be a hard lad the whole time. Like it's healthy to cry, and it's very feels so much better. Like if I done Reiki on a male, female, afterwards, if they had a trapped emotion or something, they might cry on the way home, or they might cry in bed that night, just out of pure releasing the emotion and letting it out, because it could have happened 10 years ago. And then like they'd always say to me, like, I feel amazing, like I'm just so chill about everything, and like you'd feel just like zen for like a week.
Until life starts kicking the crap out of you.
But like, do you know what I mean? You'd be really just brought back down to earth.
Yeah.
And
do
like,
you think this will probably get a bit deep here now, but sure, why not? We have a podcast, we might as well go there. But I'm sure people think that. Do you think there is a bit of a change, particularly because you say young men and keeping their stuff bottled up, and obviously we all know that suicide rates of young males in Ireland is quite high, and because we have that tough man kind of attitude, don't talk.
Yeah.
Do you think it's starting to be a bit of a change in that? Are we getting better at it? Are we getting worse at it with all the new apps and stuff?
I think with the amount of people who have been through that kind of a thing, you know, like say in sports, you know, professional athletes and things who have had a really successful career, and then they come out in retirement and say like that they were depressed for 3 years or blah blah blah, and it's common that afterwards they go into a bit of a depression because they're not achieving that feeling of success, and you know, that energy being brought after races and competitions and things. And it's just all about bringing yourself back to yourself, instead of having to think that you need to be doing a certain thing or be a certain way. And kind of like in yoga, it would be that the person, or like your being, is just living with nature. Like it's all in balance. It's not like trying to force anything. You're not trying to, you know, be the best of anything. Just realizing that everything is the same. Like we're the same as the trees and the birds, and you know,
bringing it all back present.
Yeah, bringing it all back. And people get, you know, when people start doing yoga or something like that, or they get introduced to something like that, they think, oh my God, like that is so not me, and I wouldn't be like that. And you might struggle in your first few classes, and you might think, oh my God, I can't meditate. Like meditation is impossible. How can you not think of anything? But the more you do it, the more you believe in yourself that you can actually do it. So then the better you get at it. And then just out of nowhere, your life is changed. Like your lifestyle has changed, and you know, you can't go back to your old ways because you feel so much better.
Yeah, I'm finding with the meditation now. I have mentioned Headspace, and I know you do meditation classes as well. But it's funny, even like they know exactly where your brain is going, because I'd be like 30 seconds to a minute in when they say just clear your mind, focus on your breath, and then like 30 seconds, I'd say even 10 seconds. I even give myself too much credit, but my brain will start wandering, and I'll be thinking about something else, and then the person on the app is like, okay, bring your thoughts back, and I'm like, how did they know?
I think I went on a tangent there as well. So my thought was going back to your question. I think it's changing the whole mind frame of young males and females, because of, as I said, like these older people or role models coming out and explaining their stories, as in to say, like, I've been there, like I've been depressed, I've had hard times and I've got out of them. It's not a thing that you're a bad person because you're feeling like that, or you're not good enough because you're feeling like that. It's, everyone goes through their ups and downs, and it's about of believing in yourself to get out of it, rather than telling yourself that everybody's better than you, because it's just going to keep you there and keep you there. And it's important as well to be able to open up to people. Like, you'd be amazed at the relief. It's like taking a sandbag off your shoulder. It's just telling someone what you want to say to them.
Yeah.
And like just knowing, like, it is what it is. Like that's how you feel about something. You know, not forcing them to having to feel or think the same way as you. Just saying, like, this is how I feel about that, or this is what I want to do. I know it might be hard, but I'm going to try, or blah blah blah. Rather than thinking, no, I have to do this because such and such. You know, it could be parents, it could be anybody. You know, friends. Peers.
I just kind of sat back there and watched you two go down the rabbit hole, looking down on you. And I would go, whoa, that got deep. I was like, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And it's great to open up now. And I totally agree that people are talking and just being a little bit more open, and it's great getting that out there. You were talking a little bit about meditation, and it's something I've really struggled with. It's one of those where I know it should be higher up my priorities list, and I'll go through it for a day or two, and then all of a sudden it's a week later going, damn it, I started that 2 days for 2 days and I stopped. I'm like 3-4 days before I noticed it. Do you have any like we were talking before about meditations and visualizations and stuff like that? Do you have any like practical tips on like times a day, or should you be sitting up, lying down? What's the best approach for people starting?
Mornings is a great time. Like the first thing in the morning, I think, is the most crucial time, because you're starting your day, and like those first, let's say 5-10 minutes is kind of gonna decide how your whole day is gonna go. Like if you miss your alarm and you step on your plug and you don't have enough time for a shower and you're rushing to work, and then everything is gonna go wrong in work because you're in that mind frame of blah blah blah, because you're just thinking of your bad day rather than letting it go and saying, oh my god, thank god I'm making it to work, and just being like, let it be. You know, like, I'm getting into work as soon as I can. I'm gonna do my work as best I can. I don't have to be, you know, stressing myself out and stressing my body out to try and be a certain way or be there at a certain time for somebody else.
I get you. So it's just first thing in the morning, you get up and it'd be straight into the like meditation, breathing kind of thing for a couple minutes and on with it, or do you have to kind of put yourself in that zone?
Sit up in bed, or it's better to sit up in bed or even move around. Like I'd recommend doing sun salutations in the morning to get your body moving. So like you can Google or YouTube any sun salutation. It's just a main flow, and it's in basically every yoga practice, but it gets the energy going around your body. It'll give you that bit of stretch. It'll open yourself up to the day. If you breathe properly, it'll get your lungs going, your energy going, promote your mood, and just, you know, just giving yourself that 10 minutes, not using that 10 minutes of doing your sun salutation and thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do in work later, or what am I going to have for breakfast? Just giving yourself that 10 minutes of doing your yoga and not letting anything else intervene. Like, don't turn your phone on, or don't let anybody else come in. Just have your 10 minutes and set intentions as well. Like, intention setting is important, I think, too. And you'd always set an intention at the start of a yoga class. You know, whether you want to become more relaxed, whether you want to get a deep stretch, it could be anything, or you want to open up a little bit more, you want to be more confident. And it's just literally telling yourself, I am confident, I am happy, I'm relaxed, I love myself, things like that, rather than saying, I am not worried, because you're still focusing on your worry then. So those kind of things, just like repeating them repeating intentions is really useful way of like, of meditating, just not letting anything else come into your head. All you're thinking about is how confident you are and trying to feel that confidence in your body. And that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about what color the sky is. You're not thinking about, is there anybody texting me? All you're thinking about is that one thing, and your other thoughts will come in, but it's about coming back to that one affirmation, or you could have a couple that you repeat. And as well, that chanting is very good, I think. Sorry,
chanting.
I'm not giving you a minute here.
Yeah, have me there in chanting. What's
your ohms? Do you ever hear of om? Like an om.
Oh, okay. When you put it like that, yeah. I didn't know it was literally that.
Yeah, so you would, like, there's yoga practices where you chant at the beginning of the class, or there's chanting classes, like it's a Hindu practice. So it's in yoga, in like everything, like as I said, the energy moving around your body, it moves up and down like a conveyor belt. So
he's not happy about it anyway.
He's chanting in the background.
He's getting his chants in.
Over there. And it's about getting that energy flowing up and down your body, and like the more you move it, the more energy you put into it, the more the more of a flow you're going to feel. You're going to build energy, and you're going to feel it in your body, and then you can use that energy and channel it into certain things that you want to do or say, or your affirmations. So like you would sit up, and you'd always have to sit up straight, so all your chakras are in alignment, and that humming sensation. So like even if you do it there now, like the and you're feeling it in the back of your throat, like the do it. so like that's the kind of vibration, like you're basically sending vibrations throughout your body.
Very good.
It's like waking up the energy.
Well, I suppose okay, let's just take it back to the start of this. Seán, me and you were having a little intro there. We were both saying we're terrible stretchers, we're injured, we're I think our first 2 minutes was so negative actually now when I think about it.
Yeah. I know, what happened?
What a contradiction to this episode of the podcast. We started so negative like that. I didn't even think of it that way.
I'm gonna have to stop giving you abuse. This is I couldn't. Yeah, no, it's. I was actually kind of enjoying when you used to, like, as you said, right with them, when you two were talking there. I was actually kind of thinking about it. I was like, geez, I'm probably quite harsh on myself. And although I am quite a positive person and can-do person, like behind the scenes when it's just me, I suppose probably quite harsh on myself a lot of the times. Yeah, probably ask too much of myself, to be honest. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it is good, and I don't know if anyone else listening was kind of feeling that, but definitely listening to it all kind of made me take stock of what it is I do in my everyday and how I set up my day and what I dread and fear, and even like there's a lot of unknowns in me here that I'm quite nervous about going in to do things and stuff that I wouldn't openly admit because I can't. You're here to be great, but yeah, it's cool. It's very interesting to hear the different perspectives of it. It's eye opening actually. Is probably the best way to put it into how I go about my everyday, and yeah, it is. It's very interesting. So how are you going to make us bendo flexo? That's the next question. We're sorting out the brains as one part. So how are we going to get more flexible, me and Seán? How do you recommend we can, one, fix Seán's legs, and for myself to be able to sit up straight? Because you're saying sit up straight and get them chakras in line, but sitting up straight seems to be the most difficult part of my day at the minute.
Consistency is the key, I think. Not just thinking I can stretch for half an hour once a week, instead stretch for 15 minutes for 5 days, or if you can do more, but try and designate at least 10 minutes every day to doing your forward folds or your sun salutations. It's like sun salutations, I think, are just the best for like a total body stretch, and it's easy to do, and it feels good to do because you're moving with your breath. And well, I don't know, like, so you say, like, when you're told to, like, bend over, you touch your toes or whatever, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm in agony. But you shouldn't feel like you're in agony. You shouldn't go to that place of agony. You should go before you get to agony and just relax in that place. You know, don't put yourself under stress.
The competitive edge kicks in there.
Yeah, that's it. And you have to leave your egos at the door in yoga. Like, nobody cares what you look like. You let your farts out. You let your belly hang out. You let everything hang out.
Unreal. I'm not too sure you want to bring that. I'll let go.
It's healthy.
Yeah, better out than in.
Normally, if someone's like, "What you do in yoga class?" Like, I swear it was just a chanting. I didn't let out anything else. Trying to cover it up.
Yeah, very good. No, it's brilliant. It is great to see, or great to hear. It's nice to hear a different perspective on it, and something we have only touched on lightly as well. It's kind of mentality around everything. Like, it's one thing to look after your body, and that's what we're trying to get people to do. And we've often talked about, and we haven't really noticed in our earlier episodes at the very beginning when we started this, and I was talking about my long runs. When I found I was running over the 45-hour, my brain would just kind of switch off. I'd stop thinking about my phone. I'd stop thinking about everything because I knew I had another hour to run and a 2-hour run. And I suppose we were talking about meditation and the mentality of it all and the mental health of it all before we even talked about meditation with you. And it's nice to be able to put some understanding onto the theories that everyone are kind of talking about, but to be able to put a label on what it is you're trying to do, and it is trying to just relax and refocus the mind and just bring it all back to basics.
Yeah, just being in the present. Like, you don't even have to just be sitting up straight on your pillow. Like, you can be gardening, and that could be your form of meditation. You could be painting. You could be, lying on your bed, doing, I don't know, reading a book. It could be your form of meditation, just as long as you're just focusing on that one thing in the present moment and not letting anything else intervene as well.
I think you hit the nail on the head with being the present, and it's something that sounds so easy, but the amount of people that try, like, even conversations now, I've had the people where I'm talking to the top of their head because they're on the phone doing something else. I thought it was interesting enough. Anyway, but you can see, like, even like of course all of my clothes now, but like in pubs, I used to work in the bar, and like, to be people there literally just on their phones constantly instead of just being present. Yeah. And that the phone is. It's very easy to give out about just that, but if it wasn't the phone, it'd be something else as well, or newspaper stuff or whatever. People are just not, and I say people as in myself included. There's times where, like Eric said, I'd be constantly on Instagram and not knowing I'm even on Instagram. I could spend 20-30 minutes wasting my day on it, and they'd be like, if someone hit me with a pop quiz afterwards, like, hey, what you see on Instagram? I'd be like, I don't know, I really don't. But I just think it's one of those things where
no dogs.
But yeah, no, I think just being the present and getting through the meditation stuff and just trying to make that a higher priority. And you've definitely opened my mind up a bit more to it.
But the meditation side for, like, athletes especially, it helps in competitions, in races, in matches and things of, if anything happens, like, say in a football match and you miss the ball or you kicked it wide, not to be focusing on that wide, not letting it repeat in your head or thinking, oh, that fella caught the ball over my head the last time, he's going to do it again. It's being able to scrap that thought and bring in your own positive thought, or just let things flow and not think of anything, be in the present during the race or on the field or whatever you're doing, just being in that present moment, because you'd run forever if you were just in that present moment forever.
It's one thing I noticed, and I was younger, I was a goalkeeper in soccer for years, and the coaches always tried to get it in, because you were the last line, so if a goal ever went in, you'd always feel like it was your fault, or you should have done something better, or this or that, and you'd have to kind of forget about it and focus on the next, and that was something they always kept, but I really struggled with it. And then with the job, obviously, with flying, you would make mistakes in a flight with your flying instructor, and you would know, sometimes it would get, like, you kind of go, oh, I can't believe I did that, that was really silly. But because you're flying the plane, or whatever it is mine. It's kind of more important to just let it go and focus on the next thing. And it was only in the last couple of years I've kind of got a little bit better at going, okay, made a mistake, park it there, what's next? You know, like in the that kind of helped me in that. But that's something I definitely struggled with, and I think a lot of people do struggle with that, where they do take things personally if they make a mistake, because we like to take ownership of things and be responsible for things and want to do things right for people. And when you make that mistake and you get that pit in the belly feeling when you let someone down type thing, it can get you down for days. It can be playing your mind for days. But I think it's a great thing to be able to just make that mistake or have that thought and just park it and say, okay, what's next? What's important right now really is
yeah. And that's where gratitude comes in as well. Like when you sit down at the end of the day and think of all the things that you're grateful for in that day, then you really realize, like, oh my God, that thing that I've been annoyed about all day really doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Because you're so much that you're grateful for, like, especially us.
I do think about Seán's terrible intros for days after. Sorry, okay, I can't do that. I can't keep putting
I already know I'm going to make a mistake anyway, so I forget about them straight away. So that's one thing I learned. I actually do all right. Whatever happens.
Niamh, have you any? I've actually, I don't even know how long. I talk about being in the present. I don't even know how long we've been going on this, because I thoroughly enjoyed just chatting about this. It's something we don't talk about often enough. I definitely don't think it's talked about enough. I think people talk about everything else bar just relaxing and stuff, and it's actually brilliant to talk about.
I think lockdown helped a lot with that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it took the pace off a lot of people now. I know it brought other stresses for people, and hopefully people are coping okay with it. But definitely gave people a change of pace, which is great. And it's great to see so many people staying at home as well and going on their staycations with all their friends and getting back in touch with people. And it's great to see. And obviously I'm seeing it all through Instagram, because I just sit at the end of my bed crying every night. But no, it's it is great to see. Have you any kind of final words? We didn't even talk about distraction too much. I thought what we talked about was so good that we should keep it going. But have you any kind of final touches or points you want to put in on the Reiki or on the meditation?
Just don't see yoga as stretching. You know, just see it as a practice that you're going to do. And like as I said, like before, like don't stress yourself out in it. Just do it so that you're enjoying it, and you'd be surprised at the amount of flexibility and mobility you gain in a week, in 2 weeks even, if you just do a little bit every day or a lot over a couple of days. And just give it a go. Try it out.
We'll give it a go. Well, I'll make a pact to you. We might even put up a post on it. We'll do so. For the next 14 days, Seán, myself and yourself, we're going to do a minimum of 10 minutes yoga every day.
This used to start with you signing yourself up to things. What am I going to put into this?
Well, you can't even run. I'm taking all the slack on the running because you're wearing stuff every night. So we're going to do it every day. I'm going to post up a little reminder in the stories, just to get people reminded that we're doing this for the next 14 days, and we'll tag you, Niamh, in it if it's okay. Sorry, Niamh, we've introduced you as Niamh, but you we need to give you the credits here now. So Body Feels. That's where it is on Instagram and Facebook, am I right?
Yeah, more so Instagram. Don't really.
So if anyone is looking for more information on Niamh, do look up Body Feels. I think it's a great name. I think it's brilliant. And it is exactly what we've kind of talked about. It's about just your body, how you're feeling. I think it's a great name. It's brilliant. So if anyone wants to find out more about Niamh, look her up on Instagram and Facebook, and it's Body Feels again. In case we haven't said it enough, there's enough folks for us now. For the next, so I'll tag that for the next 2 weeks as we take on the next 14 days. So just minimum 10 minutes, but we should aim for 15, Seán, right?
Wait, you stop adding time onto this. You said 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Not that I have a problem doing it, but I just hate the fact you've committed me to something on the podcast for 14 days, and now I'm like, I better ensure I do it now.
Yeah, well, it's only 10 minutes of your day. Sure, I'll keep you off Instagram for that 10 minutes.
Oh,
20 minutes to this, but
I like those dog memes.
Yeah, Niamh, it's been absolutely fabulous to have you on.
Thanks, Dave.
It's definitely not going to be the last we hear from you. We're going to see a lot more from you in the near future. dropping in more hints, Sean, each week.
Cliffhanger to end the podcast on.
But we're definitely going to see more Niamh. We're definitely going to see more of this meditation side of it. We're going to see more yoga. And we're going to see a lot more. We have hiking last week, we have yoga this week. We might have more good and different lined up next week as well, Sean. We'll drop those little hints in there as well. I won't all be running for the next couple of weeks, but we'll keep it going. But I'll do the outro, will I?
Walk away. You're in the middle of it. You're doing a good job. I'm very proud of you.
We practice about Sean. You are brilliant. You are great at outros. You should do it.
I really appreciate your humble 100% honesty there in what you said. Thank you very much. Thank you at Bodyfields once again on Instagram. Thank you for coming on the podcast this week and offering us something completely different. Really enjoyed the episode, as Eric talked about as well. And everyone, thanks for listening. I suppose we mentioned that we are on Instagram as well at Any Given Run Day Official. And that's it from us this week. Thank you for listening once again. Take care.
Bye.